Hey everybody, in today's video we're talking about asset-based long-term care plans. So we're going to cover what it is, how it works, as well as the pros and cons of this plan, and some things you need to be aware of. If you want more information on this strategy as well as the other ones out there, in the description below I have a link to my free long-term care guide. Go ahead and download it for more information. So asset-based long-term care plans essentially combine life insurance and long-term care together into one policy. So what's unique about this type of strategy is how you're able to fund it. So you can fund it on an ongoing monthly basis like you do other things, or you can fund it with your assets. So you can do lump sum deposits on it to help bring down the cost. So say for example you wanted to drop in say $5,000 up front, that's going to help reduce the premiums going forward. So it kind of works like a mortgage. The more money you put down on it, the lower the payments will be, and you can even buy the thing outright. You can just put a large chunk of money down, own the policy completely, and have no more bills from that day forward. So there's just so many different ways to kind of structure how you pay for the policy. In addition to that, you can structure the payouts differently. So these type of plans typically have something called accelerated benefits and continuation of benefits. So what does that mean? Because it has a life insurance component to it, it has a death benefit. So if you pass away and never need it, that death benefit pays out to your beneficiaries completely tax-free. So this is not a use-or-lose-it type of program. In the event that you do need it, it's going to pay out a certain amount of that life insurance policy until that benefit is completely depleted, just like it would in a traditional life insurance policy with long-term care rider situation. So you have that feature on it. But then it has what they call continuation benefits. So this is when that long-term care part of the contract kicks in. So after you've already exhausted the first part of the policy, the second part kicks in, and it's going to basically give you an additional line of money to use for your long-term care. Now, how much that line is depends on the company and the policy you choose. Some of them will be lifetime benefits. So in other words, you'll never run out of coverage, or sometimes you may want just $100,000 or $200,000 to help keep costs down. So remember, the more coverage you want, the more it's going to cost. Health and age are also big components to how much premium you're going to pay. And now another unique feature of these asset-based programs is there are some companies that offer joint policies. So in other words, you can get one policy to cover two people. So you and your spouse can get coverage without purchasing separate plans. So this really just helps to keep things simple, and oftentimes it can help reduce costs overall, because now you don't have to go ahead and purchase two separate policies and pay commissions and fees for two different accounts. It's all built into one policy. So now what are the pros and cons of using asset-based protection? So the pros are it's going to protect you in the event you need long-term care, obviously, and it's not a use it or lose it. Because it has life insurance component to it, it's going to pay out a death benefit should you never need it. Now, in the event that you exhaust that life insurance benefit, then the long-term care component kicks in to help continue benefits so you get some more years of coverage out of it. The other pro is that you can get joint policies, so you can help reduce costs by just keeping things simple and all in one policy. Also, the premiums are guaranteed. You can even pay the thing off at some point if you want to. So if you only want to pay for it, say for 10 or 20 years, you can pay it off. And then once that time period is done, you own the thing outright. You don't have to worry about premiums going up like you do in traditional plans. So you can keep that benefit throughout your retirement and not have to worry about this ongoing bill. So another thing that's really cool with these asset-based plans is you can use pre-tax dollars to fund them. So you have some money sitting in an IRA or 401k that you don't think you really need, but you want to go ahead and try to mitigate the long-term care risk. You could take that money out, put it in one of these policies, and it's not going to trigger a taxable event. Now, you're still going to pay taxes on it. That asset-based plan is actually going to spread out the taxes over a number of years to help make this a little bit more tax efficient. Now, as far as the cons or negatives with this type of plan, is that it's not going to qualify for the partnership program. So remember, the partnership program is a program that allows you to keep more of your assets while you transition onto Medicaid, if that were to happen. If you want more details on it, check that video up here. Now, another negative part of it is because you have two components, the life and long-term care insurance part of it, these plans typically are a little bit more expensive than the other counterparts. So you do have to pay a premium to use this type of policy that has all these benefits to it. But in some cases, it can make a great deal of sense to you. So it's always important to understand all of your options and long-term strategies before deciding jumping into one of these plans. Again, if you want more information on this, I have a link to my free long-term care guide in the description below. Be sure to check that out. Make sure to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys next week. Remember that your future depends on what you do today.